This is a video tutorial that will walk you through creating this Andy Warhol project in Photoshop. So this is a finished image of what your project will look like. So we're going to take this image of Lady Gaga, copy it 9 times, and do a hue saturation adjustment so we can have these different colors. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started. Go to the Student Share folder, back to A1, and we're in Advanced Class, and this is the 7th project in this grading cycle. So this PowerPoint here, which I have open, will walk you through each different step on based on each different slide. Okay, you will need to open up these 3 Photoshop images in Photoshop, which I have open here. And so we're going to start with Lady Gaga. Okay, we're going to start by choosing Image, Mode, and go over to Grayscale. So we're going to discard the changes. Okay. So this first one we're going to retitle as Face. Then we're going to right click and we're going to choose Duplicate Layer. So this layer, duplicate layer, we're going to call as Hair. So I have that there. Okay. So we want the hair actually just below the face. So this first thing we're going to choose Hair, and we're going to choose some layer adjustments to it. So adjustments, levels, and this first number we're going to change to 139. The middle number is going to be 0.53, and this last number is going to be 220. Click OK to make those changes. So that level adjustments on the hair. So now we're going to click on the face and choose the same thing. So image adjustments and levels. The first number on the face is going to be 44. Middle number is 1.71, and the last number would be 186. Okay, and click OK to make those changes. Because the reason we had 2 different layers is because I want the lightness of her face here, but I want the darkness of her hair here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the face and we're going to use the eraser tool. We're going to bring this down to, I think, actually we're going to create a kind of gritty brush, so this 24, and we're actually going to go over the hair, the lightness, the light hair here, and we're going to show through this darker hair the way we want. So we're just going to take that and start erasing that out. This does not have to be perfect, just as a basic taking out the hair kind of idea. Go down here. So then we're going to go back to here and take this portion out too. I'm not getting real close around the fingers because I want to take that later. So now we're going to turn off the hair layer so we can see all the things that we're doing, all the portions that we're deleting. So we're going to go back to this hardness. We're going to change it to 50%. And then make this our brush size. Then we're going to choose the bracket keys, our shortcut to actually make our brush size larger or smaller. So I'm going to use that to actually delete out the portion of the hair and make it go a little faster. So delete out this hair here. It's looking good. So we want it. You don't want to take out everything. You don't have to take out just, enough. And again, deleting out this portion of this hair over on this side. Getting close in here. Yes. So I have that hair that light hair taken out. So we want to see the dark hair. Also this, I'm going to make this blend in a little bit, so I'm going to actually just kind of quickly go over this and make this blend in a little bit. Okay. I'm actually going to zoom in just a little bit, so I can see that kind of blending in well. Do that on this side too here. And I'm catching every little portion that is not caught. We have that here. So again, this is a little bit do we need to actually take out for shoulder? Okay, scroll that over. I'm actually going to hold the Alt key down and scroll my wheel so I can zoom in. Now I'm going to make my brush size smaller. So then I'm just going to take out around her finger here. I'm actually going to zoom out a little bit here, turn on the hair layer so we can see like her hand, the contour of her hand here. And make the brush size a little larger so I can make this erasing go faster. There you go, it's making that go faster, and make it smaller so I can actually go into detail. Take out what I want. So I'm just deleting this out, getting in there. Yeah. So you can see there, I'm just kind of deleting it out. Okay, so I'm going to hit Control 0. Go back, and now I have all the hair taken out, so I can turn the hair layer back on, so I have that all filled in. Okay. Next thing we want to do is you want to add some color to it now. So we're going to go to Image, Mode, and we want to go to RGB Color. So, and we're going to merge these two. Okay. This layer, we're going to title this as Face. Enter. So now we want to actually add in a new layer, this new layer button, and this layer we're going to title as foreground. And enter there. Okay, so now we're going to choose our color reference guide, so we're going to use this quite a bit. So we're going to choose the eyedropper tool to grab these colors. Back to Lady Gaga, choose the paint bucket tool to fill that entire layer in. So we're going to choose this to blend mode to multiply, so we can see there. Okay, and now we're going to turn off this layer. We're going to create a new layer. With this new layer, we're going to tile this as hair. Okay. Yes, and now we're going to grab the brush tool. We're going to go back to the color reference guide, grab the color that we want to grab as hair, Lady Gaga, and now we're going to grab the brush tool. This needs to be about 30 points, and the hardness is going to be 100. The hardness is 100. And you want to just take this and you want to just color in this hair. Again, this is not to be perfect, but you're just coloring in the hair here. Just coloring in the hair. See here, I'm coloring in. I'm just going to go over that in and back in. Actually, I went a little bit too far, so I'm going to choose the eraser tool and take that out. Just a little bit right there. That's look good. Now I'm going to go back to my brush tool and I'm going to fill that in. So I'm going to make my brush a little bit bigger so it can go a little faster. And then I'm just going to use this and make it filled in. Just fill in as much as we can there. Right, and then we'll make that smaller so we can fill in those slivers that are left over. There, and then back down here. Okay, so we have that kind of filled in. So now we're going to have the hair, and we're going to go back to blend mode as multiply. Okay, so now we're going to click a new layer, create a new layer, title this as skin. Okay, hit enter. So one way to actually make this go a little faster is we're going to hit the control key and we're going to select the hair. It's going to make load the selection. This is what it's called. So we want to color in the opposite of that. So we're going to select the inverse of that, and now we're going to go back to Color Reference Guide, choose the eyedropper tool, grab the skin color, back to Lady Gaga, and so now when we click the brush tool, it's only going to let us color in our selection. So we're going to, it's not letting us color in the hair, and so in that way we have the skin color that meets it perfectly with the hair color. And the only thing that you'll have to be really careful about is like over here next to the shoulder and the hand. Then we have to make sure we're spend a little more time and make sure those kind of match up. Like this over here, and then the hand. And then we'll just fill it in. So we can go there, filling that in. Okay. So then we're going to do the same thing without, is change the Control D to deselect that, and now I hit the blend mode. I skipped one little section right there. Just that little second. And now I'm going to hit the blend mode and change that to multiply as well. So multiply there. Okay. So now I'm going to turn the foreground back on, make that foreground active, highlight there. And now we're going to hit the Control key and grab the hair. So it's going to load that selection again. Grab the eraser tool, and now we're going to hit the backspace button and delete that. So I don't want the hair and the foreground to overlap, so I'm going to delete that portion of the foreground. And again, so I just hit Control D, hit Control, and then click on the skin icon, and again backspace and delete that portion. Now again Control D and deselect that. Okay. And the next thing we want to do is we want to grab two new layers here. The first one, we're going to title this as eyes, and the second one we're going to title as lips. We're going to click there and title it lips. Okay. The first one we're going to do is lips, and so we're going to need to zoom into their lips, to this Lady Gaga's lips here. Okay. We want to grab the lasso tool, which is here, lasso tool, and we just want to quickly grab kind of the selection around here. It doesn't grab too much, but have the selection there. So now we're going to choose image and adjustments and levels. I'm sorry. So we have to click face because that's actually on the layer. And so now we can actually, we're going to choose image, adjustments, and brightness contrast. Okay. So the first number is 68. The second number is 79. Okay. And this will look good. So we'll click OK. You can see here, like when I go back to history, this would look like before. It's kind of blurry and too dark, and now it's cleaned up. Okay. So I'm going to hit Control D to deselect that. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to my color reference guide, choose the eyedropper to grab the lip color. Go back to Lady Gaga, choose the brush, and make that smaller. The brush size smaller. Things here. And now I'm just going to actually select the lips layer and just color in the lips. Make that a little bit small. So I'm just going to color in his lips here. Okay. And it's okay if you go outside the lips, but I'm just trying to stay in the lips here. And then we won't color in the mouth for you because we're going to try and stay just inside the lips. And there. Okay. So go there. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to change that lips again to multiply. So all these are going to be multiply. Okay. So now we have this skin color is actually over her teeth. So we're going to click on the skin grab the eraser tool, and we're just going to erase out the portion so we can see our white teeth. Okay, that's simple there. Okay, so next thing we want to do is go to the eyes. So we're going to hit Control 0 to zoom out, and we're going to zoom into the eyes so we can see our eyes here. Have there. We want to go back to the color reference guide, choose the eyedropper, and grab the eyeshadow color. Back to Lady Gaga, and then we're going to choose the brush color. And so we just want to, it's just like we're painting on her eyeshadow. So we just paint on the eyeshadow, and it can be as generous as you want. No. And then this side over here. Paint on eyeshadow there. Okay, that looks good. Doesn't have to be perfect again. And now we're going to change, yes, their eyes need to be on multiply as well. So it kind of blends in there. So I'm going to hit Control 0. Okay. The next thing I want to do is I want to go to Gritty. I'm going to choose the Move tool. Go to Gritty. Make that a floating display window. And I'm going to click in the Gritty, and I'm going to move that over so I can copy it. Okay. So now when I don't need this window anymore, so I can close this. And now I want to hit Edit, Transform, and Scale, and make sure that fits the actual document window that I have. So grab that, hit Control minus a few times, once, and it can make that fit there. So you can apply those changes, and actually I'm going to put that to the very top here. Okay. Now I want to change that as well to multiply. Okay. And then we want to do some level change to that as well. So I have the layer 1 selected. We're going to go to Image, Adjustments, and Levels. The first number here is going to be 17. The second number is going to be 0.32. And the last number is going to be 105. Okay, so we have the there. So it's kind of this gritty kind of thing. So we're going to grab the eraser tool. This is going to be, the brush size is going to be 180. Oh, sorry, 180. 180. And the hardness is going to be 100%. Okay, so I'll close there. So now we're just going to get rid of some of the grittiness that's on top of our image. So we don't want to see on our face, but just, you know, kind of thing like that. So just clean it up a little bit. Just like this, yeah. So this is looking good there. So it kind of has this kind of textured look to it a little bit. I can make my brush size smaller, and like maybe just take that out a little bit. Okay, so I have that there. Okay. The last step on this gritty we need to change is to change our opacity down to 15%. So again, it's not overpowering, so it's just kind of just a texture in the background. Okay. So that finishes up our Lady Gaga image. Okay, so we want to actually flatten an image. So I'm going to right click on it and flatten the whole image, so it flattens it all down. Okay, so now I'm going to go and I'm going to create our overall document. We're going to create 9 different Lady Gaga images on. So I'm going to File, New. Okay, this needs to be I'll title it Andy Warhol. Okay, and this is the width is going to be 420, and this is set to millimeters. Make sure it's set to millimeters, not inches, millimeters. And the height is going to be 330. The resolution is 150. Background contents will be white, and RGB color 8-bit is fine. So we'll click OK. That gives us a white document here. So just like the way we brought in our gritty, so we're going to go to Lady Gaga, make that a floating display window, click in our Lady Gaga, and then drag it over so it copies there. So I'll drag this up just in case we need it anymore. Go back to our Andy Warhol. Click we still have the move tool selected, and it's going to snap to that corner. Okay. The next thing we want to create 9 different kind of squares that we're going on. So we're going to hold down the Alt key, while still having the move tool selected. Hold the Alt key down, and it changes our cursor to like a black arrow with a white arrow under it, and it lets us copy that. So we're going to click layer 1 and copy it. So it's going to snap here and do that 9 different times. So I have 3 right here. This is 4, and this is 5. This is 6. This is 7. There, and they all kind of like snap in place. They should snap. Give my attention if they're not doing that, because it's really hard if they're not. Okay, so we have there is 9 different copies. Okay, so we want to grab all of them and make sure they fit to our full document size. So we're going to highlight. We're going to hold down the Shift key, and we're going to select all of these. So we have all those selected. So we're going to edit, go to transform and scale, and make sure it fits to our full document here. Okay, apply those changes by clicking the check mark. Okay, now what we want to do is we're going to click layer 1. So this is the one we created first. So we're going to go to edit, adjustments, and hue saturation. Okay, so we're just going to grab the top slider. We're going to leave these bottoms the same on 0. So we're just going to quickly slide this over so we get the first one there. So we're just going to go up to each different copy, image, adjustments, and then hue saturation, and now we're going to grab the second one. So it can be there. Okay. And again, just go through all the different ones. And if you need to, you can fast forward on this portion, because I'm doing basically the same thing 9 different times. Here this way. Okay. Image, adjustments, hue saturation. I like to be able to see all the ones I've created before. Blue. So now I'm selecting this as the copy right here. Image, adjustments, hue saturation, and like make this yeah, it looks good there. Okay, so I'm just grabbing that top slider, adjustments, hue saturation, and again that looks good there. Okay, the last 3 here, image, adjustments, and hue saturation. That's good there. Okay, and then the last 2, image, adjustments, and hue saturation. So it doesn't have to be, these are not exactly like the ones that I started with, but they're similar. So they're all basically having some color changes there. Yeah, leave that yellow. Actually, I'm going to go back to 0. So I'm going to leave this one the way it is. Okay. So there's one you don't really have to change to make any adjustments. Adjustments, hue saturation, and then this last one will be. So I'm trying to make them all different. Yeah, it looks good there. So now they're all different colors, okay? And so we want to lastly just flatten the image again. So flatten image, and we're going to double click there, and we're going to tell it Andy Warhol. Okay, click OK there. So in the PowerPoint, this step is pretty much the second to last step. This is worth 100 points if you have all these done. If you want 5 extra points, I'm not going to go over this in the video, but you can create a blank document with black and then use the rectangular marquee tool just to have kind of like an edge here, and use the effects like the layer styles and use bevel and emboss to create kind of like a border on your image. Okay, so you can do that if you'd like to add 5 different points, 5 extra points. Okay, and that concludes this video tutorial. Thanks for watching.